Oh boy, now I'm going to be looking at one of the most hateable characters in the show, Zebra Breeze. Fluttershy's parents say that Zebra Breeze is going to be around for a while. And Fluttershy completely says that he doesn't do anything good for himself. I think you pretty much know what's going to happen. Which completely consider this episode very uncomfortable to sit through. He completely ruined the garden, which is very unacceptable. And this is only the first thing that he did in this episode. And trust me, Zebra doesn't listen to anyone in this episode. He only thinks of himself. But he doesn't do anything for himself. He thinks that he's so confident that everything is just going to turn out so good for him. And just to let you know, he completely stays with Fluttershy's house, which Fluttershy doesn't approve. And I really feel bad for Rainbow Dash because Zebra Breeze is completely hitting on her. And Zebra Breeze still thinks that Rainbow Dash still found feelings for him. And let's get into more of what this episode has to offer. Rarity thinks that doing the simplest job of fabric is easy for Zebra. However, look at this. I'm not kidding. This is what Zebra did when Fluttershy and Rarity was away from the boutique. Oh boy. You know, watching this episode for a second time, I'm starting to hate him. And Zebra isn't aware of what he did. Let's get into Twilight's castle, because there's still more to show about how hateable Zebra Breeze is. His job is to wipe the windows completely clean. And guess what happens when Twilight and Fluttershy comes back, just like last time. Now, they may think that he did it, but no, he didn't. Spike did all the work. Yeah. He's supposed to supervise, but no, he did all the work. And man, Zebra Breeze is just getting worse and worse and worse. Especially that he didn't do anything. Even one little thing in this episode. Those will be the faces if this ever happened to you. Enough said. His final job is from Rainbow Dash, and she would say it would be the most simplest, easiest job ever. It didn't turn out well, because she says that he has to do it. That's the problem with Zebra Breeze. His issue is that he has to do it. Most hateable character, and not only in Season 6, but in the show in general. And Fluttershy is being really serious with him, just like everyone else in this episode. But Zebra Breeze refuses to listen. You know, after watching this entire episode, again, I think I can understand why I made that fanfic of him, but I'll get to that later. Fluttershy forces Zebra Breeze to leave, because if he can't be able to do anything, he won't be able to live at Fluttershy's house. Man, even if he lives by himself, he's still hateable. You know, if he did the most minimum things in this episode, I would probably find this completely acceptable. But no. Even when he's on his own, oh my god. Anyway, Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy found what Zebra Breeze has been doing all along. Now, I can understand that Zebra Breeze can't handle everything by himself, which is a very good idea for what they did in this episode, but the thing is, that's only one of the only things I like in this episode, is that people like Zebra Breeze can't handle things by himself. And the second is the song. Do it on my own just pretty much shows what Zebra Breeze's hobbies can do for himself. So basically, his thing is to do something that he really loves by making a profit of it. Yeah, the song is a very great song, but at the same time, it doesn't make up with everything in this episode. Just because Zebra actually succeeds, one thing doesn't make up with everything that he did. I really feel bad for Rainbow Dash, Rarity, Twilight, and Spike in this episode because they had to suffer through Zebra's torture. Now, Fluttershy is just trying to be nice to him. I can understand that. But at the same time, it has to come to a point where Zebra Breeze needs to learn from his mistakes. He doesn't learn anything at all. They don't even bring up the fact that Zebra Breeze needs to apologize to everyone for what he did and what he didn't do anything. He doesn't even get a reaction when everyone completely criticizes him. This is one of the major reasons why people like Zebra Breeze get so much hate. He doesn't care about any of the consequences that he caused. And the consequences that he deserves, he still doesn't get a reaction. You know, for being a little brother, I really doubt that anyone will ever accept him to be in the society. Well, except the one job that Zebra Breeze got at the end of the episode, but that's beside the point. And the only way that Zebra Breeze is getting another chance is because she actually listened again. It's really too late for that. Fourth time isn't the charm. Third time is supposed to be the charm. Okay, let's get into the fanfic that I made. No, I didn't make this fanfic because of this episode. I made this fanfic because of the equestrian short Blue Crushed. I think that's the name of the title. Mostly because that Zebra Breeze just made a giant mistake. And the mistake is that he was about to do the big wave. And failed. And he wants to get some tips from Rainbow Dash. And it gave me an idea to do something like this. However, I wasn't completely hatred on him. I only did this because I wanted to do it, and the beach shorts gave me inspiration to make more fanfics. But when I watch this episode again, I think I can understand why I made that. It's just like this, but I've done it completely better. Just to show how much people completely hate Zebra Breeze. Now, I wasn't trying to be very brutal to him. I mean, the fanfic was just rated T and there was some gore at the end of the fanfic. But that's not the point. The point is, watching Zebra Breeze being into these situations because he's too lazy to do it by himself, it's just very like real life people, but they don't learn anything from their mistakes. That's why Zebra Breeze gets so much hate. And me making that fanfic was probably one of the reasons why it became so successful. Now, is this episode terrible? Well, yes, but not really terrible. I found episodes completely worse than this. This episode gets a 4 out of 10. If Zebra Breeze knew what he was doing in this entire episode, maybe this would have been a little bit more tolerable to talk about.